Hi, my goddesses. So, new moon is this week, and I wanted to do a new moon reading. I tried recording 2 other times previous in the week for a reading for the month, and both times I had technical problems. So, I'm hoping that the third time is the charm and there won't be any issues with this recording. It was really weird. It's been a really weird week for me energetically. There's been a lot of mishaps. So I guess we'll just see what happens in this one. And yeah, just shuffling. We're going to do a 6-card spread. The first card is balance, and this is what you're releasing. So you're not really releasing balance, you're gaining balance, but you're releasing the things that are keeping you from having the balance, which is always a nice thing, to be able to let go of the things that don't serve us, the things that we don't need anymore, maybe habits or people, behaviors, thought patterns, all of the things that are leading you to a more balanced life are coming in, and the things that were holding you back from having a balanced life are getting released this new moon. So really taking the time. The new moon is about new beginnings and intention setting. There's a lot of planting seeds in the first part of the moon cycle. So with that, you really want to take the time now to look at what needs to be released to bring balance into your life. So if that is a thought pattern, maybe focus on what that thought pattern taught you and what it's not teaching you anymore. So it just needs to kind of be shuffled out of your day-to-day or whenever you're thinking of it. So yeah, really you're just making the intention that there's something that needs to be let go to get a good flow back into your life. So focus on the intention of that. That will be a very good thing for you this upcoming month. The next one is where you're at right now. So it's sacrifice. And with this, I sense a little bit of that mindset of a martyr, like the victim mentality. So there's something that is happening right now that's leading you to believe that it's happening to you and not for you. And so being able to let go of that is what's really going to help you to bring balance into your life. Maybe that's the one thing that it needs to be released in order to bring the balance back. So sacrificing is not so much of how much you're sacrificing, although it very well could be if you feel like you're maybe not getting the things that you're trying to manifest. Stuff's not coming through, and maybe it's because your thought pattern is still holding you back. There's still a little bit of uncertainty and the fear of unknown to just fully release it and let it go out into the universe and have faith that the universe will bring it to you instead of questioning still. Sometimes when we do manifestation work, it's really easy to get caught up in this is what I want, and I'm going to put it out there. But then, 2 days go by and you're bringing it back by thinking about it. You're not just releasing it and saying I'm fully giving this out to you. Please let it happen. If this is for my highest self, then it'll be, it'll work out the way that it's supposed to. And right now, that's kind of where I feel like this is at. Maybe your mindset is telling you oh, well, what if it doesn't happen? Or is that really what's at my best interest right now? Or you're constantly putting your thought back to it. So you're pulling it back to you. I say this all the time, but chi follows thought. So and that energy is going to follow wherever your focus is. If you're putting the intention out there that you're freely letting this go and you're allowing it to come back into your life the way that you're manifesting it, that's what happens. But if you're holding on to it or you're constantly going back and thinking about it, then you're bringing it back into you before it's manifested or transformed that energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just transforms. It takes shapes in different ways. So your thought, that energy, is being put out into the world, into the universe, whatever you want to call it. And when you're bringing it back before it has had time to shift fully into what you originally sent out, then your faith gets knocked down a little bit because you're thinking that it's not working, when in actuality you are really what's pulling it back just before it, it might be on its last end of having that manifestation fully change and come back to you the way that you wanted it or what was better for you. But when you go back and forth, does that make sense? Like, you're pulling it back and it's not ready to come back yet. So when you let it go, you have full faith in it. When it comes back as something that you manifested or greater, where you're just your energy is whatever happens or better. Whatever is supposed to happen for me or better. And when you have the faith, then you don't have to limit it to just what you want. Sometimes we think that we know what we want, and we really struggle to see from a broader perspective of what we should be having in our lives. So yeah, that was a very long explanation for that one card, but I feel like that was what you needed to hear, is just to understand that sometimes, like, the repetitive thoughts are not helping at all. In fact, they're making your manifestation process so much slower, so much less ineffective. So just let it go, as Elsa says, and wait for it to come back to you. And if it doesn't come back to you in that way, then it's going to come back to you maybe in a way that you don't expect it, but it's going to be a better thing for you. So always remember that. If it doesn't come back the way that you plan it to, you limited it too much, but it comes back in a way that's unexpected and better. So the next card is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So this is what is emerging with you right now. And so there's definitely this sense of you're transitioning in understanding where the materialistic realm is for you. And so one of the people that I love to listen to talk about materialistic things such as money is Amanda Frances, because she explains it that money is just a resource. It's not something that's good or bad. It's neutral. And I fully agree with that. I fully have realized that money is not like the root of all evil. In fact, I would love to have more money, just like anybody would, but the way that I see it is so that way it helps me help other people. Like, if I have more money to give to something like a charity or a cause that's dear to me, then one, I'm feeling satisfied and fulfilled with what I want to do, how I wish to help, and then on top of that, I'm actually helping somebody get to, buy what they need or have the resources and help that they desire. So it really is a transition right now for you with that. So you're still on the fence of materialistic resources, and that's okay, because there's a lifelong journey in learning all of this. It's not like it's just, we learn it once and it stays with us forever. Or that there's not different like levels, right, of evolving, of gaining more consciousness in certain topics and aspects. And so each phase of our life, we learn something new or we learn something different. And it's just there to better help us guide and serve in our life. So the Five of Pentacles is really just there's a transition, excuse me, and you're working through that. That's you're coming towards that other end of struggle and uncertainty, and really feeling like, that mental, like, victim mentality of just like, oh, it's happening to me all the time and I can't get past it. And now, when you start to come into that balance and let go of the thoughts that aren't working with you, and let go of the repetitive thoughts that don't serve you, then you can transition. You can start to, pull yourself out of that quicksand before you get fully, into, up to your neck in thoughts that don't work for you, and a life that doesn't, satisfy you. So yeah, you're really working towards that, which I think is amazing. That's so beautiful. I love that. The next card is the Sun in reverse. So this is how you can bring your goals to fruition. And I feel like, the Sun is very active energy. It's yang energy in Chinese medicine. So there's definitely a sense of passivity that comes with that being in reversed. There's a sense of allowing things to come in, open receptivity, and not trying to, like, be the center of attention. I don't know, like, that phrase just came into my mind. This, you're not like the center of the universe, reversed, not. That's just what came to me. So I don't know if maybe that's your shifting from that. When we start to gain more consciousness, we start to realize that in a very, like, humble way, we are so small in the matter of the universe. But then at the same time, like, you're so humbled by the fact that there's still so many great things that you, as this one small person, has the potential to do. And maybe that's what you'll start to realize as you bring more of a heart-centered approach to your life, more balance into your life, raising your frequency, doing things like that, practicing mindfulness. And you'll really start to step into and out of your body. Like, you'll connect in such a way that it's very yin and yang. I think that's why I love Chinese medicine, because the energy behind Chinese medicine it's like very beautiful in a philosophical sense. And I really tend to, like, identify with that. I love the beauty of, like, poetry and words and, all those things. But so, yeah, I feel like the reverse sun, what you're bringing to help you with your goals, is becoming more in tune with things, like getting a sense to know, like, go out into nature and see how, things are very just, like, fluid. Everything goes together. There's, like, a very circular, dynamic, symbiotic relationship that happens between all of these little things. And it's really inspiring to see. And there are people who just, practice, like, mindful meditations out in nature because it's the fastest way to connect with it. So that could definitely be something that helps you learn how to get in tune with that and send out your goals to the universe and work with that energy and not question it or fight it, or pull back the energy that you sent out by thinking about it. And you'll start to see the balance that really comes with that. So the other one is, where do you wish to grow? And so I think that goes back, with the sun. You're feeling this sense of a symbiotic relationship. there's a lot that you're working with on growing. This is the Four of Staves, the card that I just pulled. Just, lost in my own thoughts about this. But so the Four of Staves is the like the celebration of it. They're very happy. There's the couple that they're celebrating in love. They're celebrating in this transformation and being able to put all of the things together that you learn. You grow from that. You turn into this quantum manifester in such a quick way that I still get blown away by the stuff that I manifest or that I'm able to create. And to me, it's all because I just become more and more in tune with my higher power, my higher source, and my highest self. So I'm stepping into alignment with that each and every day through the lessons that I learn. And then with that, because I've manifested this sense of wanting to be able to help other people achieve the same thing, that's where my manifestation comes in. And, I'll learn lessons faster because it's something that somebody else needs to learn. And then I'll notice, maybe I'll learn a lesson on Tuesday. Thursday, I'll have somebody who needs to kind of hear the same type of lesson. And that always still blows my mind, even though, because I don't think about it in the moment. When I'm learning the lesson, I don't think, oh, this is going to help somebody else. I'm dealing with it. I'm processing it through my own experiences and what I want to do with that, how I want to work with that in my life. And then because of that, a couple of days later, because I've really saturated that learning experience, I'm able to teach it so much better. And then I almost get a second lesson because of it, because we all have different perspectives. And so somebody else will maybe translate that lesson in a different way, understand it in a different way, repeat it back in a different way. So it's you hear it again, you're like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Or that's totally different than what I was thinking. And I love that lesson, the way that you explained it and experienced it too. So it's definitely a perk of us all having different perspectives, is that we can learn these things in different ways, which I think is really cool. And it seems to be that you're on that plane right now. You're starting to figure this out, that there are different ways to bring these things together to fit your life. And to me, that it's just gonna solidify your faith in yourself and how your intuition can create these wonderful, amazing things for your life, that it's just going to catapult you into this higher and higher realm. And I find that is very much the case when people start shifting their energy. Energy wants to flow and it doesn't want to be stagnant. So when you start to kind of release these dams, in a sense, you're removing blockages, your energy will just push through all of that. And then it starts to create this really great flow of movement, and you'll start to see it in your life, right? Because chi follows thought. So your mind starts to change, your energy starts to change. You start to bring in all of these different and new energies into your life. You're attracting different things. And then before you know it, it's a couple years and your life is a completely different life. You're a completely different person. You're not a different person, but in a sense you are, because your cells are constantly replacing themselves. From a science standpoint, it's really interesting because every, it's 7 to 8 years, you are a completely different person on a cellular level. So why not work with those cycles, those, age groups that you're turning into, you're evolving into, and create a more evolved, higher vibrating person. Because then as the years progress, you're just progressively becoming more in tune and at a higher frequency to attract bigger and better things. That's where you're going. 10 of Staves. And that is your wonderful, wonderful victory in action card to me. There's a sunset, everything's rising up. The Staves is an action card in general. The world, the energy of it is at your disposal. And there is just so many opportunities. I mean, an infinite amount of opportunities, but you literally in this card, there's not one but 10 opportunities for you. So it's all about winning in every aspect. What way do you want to win? What do you want? Because there are a lot of different things that you could use. There are a lot of different opportunities and choices and routes that you can take. You know, in quantum physics, the whole idea between alternate realities and different dimensions. Quantum leaping to me, I think, is something that I utilize. The interpretations that I've experienced and seen through quantum physics and metaphysics are amazing, and the possibilities are endless. You know, all time happens in the same time, like it's all happening all at once. And so who says that you can't jump to a different dimension or universe? And with this, I feel like that is something that you can work towards. You are the creator of your reality. We manifest what we focus on. And if you are ready and you're implementing these things and you're learning how to transition your energy and your mindset into this completely different person that wants to work with the energies of the universe and create a harmonious, balanced lifestyle, then the 10 of Staves is really like confirming that and validating that you're there. You're getting there little by little, but you're there at the same time. So it's really just pulling it out of you, deciding that you want to live a heart-centered life, deciding that you want to embrace the quantum manifestation that you can do and your potential and the goddess within, and being able to embrace all of these different powers and embodiments of the universal energy that we know. And to me, I feel like that's love, which is why I practice a heart-centered approach, because I feel like love is in everything and anything, and all we have to do is learn how to access it. And that's what I want for you. That's what I'm here for. My life's calling is to get people to see that there's a different way to look at things, and that way is not the only way. There are so many different ways because there are so many different people with so many different experiences and backgrounds that there is not a right or wrong way. It is relative to the person. And if you just access the love and have a heart-centered approach, then you can see that and you can begin to have patience and, be aware of all of these things and develop practices that strengthen that knowledge and intuition that, we all learn and have. So this new moon cycle is going to be a wonderful gift for you. There's really going to be a lot of thought patterns that are going to fall away. The awareness that's going to set in when you start to realize that some of those thought patterns aren't serving you anymore. Maybe they did at some point, but they are no longer needed in your life. And so I'm really excited that this was your new moon card. I feel like each time that I've done the readings, the message has always been, for the most part, very similar, but they get like stronger each time. And I am not sure if that's just because it's like more and more energy that keeps getting put into them. I don't know. I'm not sure what that's for, but they definitely have been like building upon themselves, and then this one comes out and it just is great, but also kind of like, it's I like it. It's a good one. And I'm excited to see what happens with you guys in this next month. Basically, the new moon is definitely a time for intention. So with all of this in mind, set your intention that this is what you want, that you want to become a quantum manifester, that you want to be able to develop a heart-centered approach to life, that you want to be able to create balance and harmony and, you know, a holistic lifestyle for all of this stuff. So yeah, I look forward to hearing if any of this resonated with you. If it did, please tell me what was it that resonated with you. And I would love to send out some more energy for that for you. Let me know if there's anything that you're specifically trying to manifest, so I can also send out energy for that for you guys, or anything else that you want me to send out. I love doing energy work. It's one of my favorites, and I love sending energy to people. So I look forward to seeing you guys next month. And until then, have a wonderful time with all of this. Bye.